Hi guys, welcome back to the Bricked channel. Now, I wanted to just go over this real quick. This is the 2025 LEGO Star Wars UCS Death Star. Now, there's plenty of videos online already about this set. It got revealed a couple of weeks ago now. Reviews are all out and everything. But I just I just wanted to talk about this real quick because I've got a few hot takes. I've got a few points of discussion, and I just wanted to say what I had to say. Um, will I be buying this set? Is probably the first question, and to that I do not quite know yet. We're getting very close to release now. I haven't fully made up my mind, but we will see. Um, But yeah, so this is the new most expensive, biggest, whatever Lego set ever. £900 is quite the total. I thought this might be a 850 as we've known for a very very long time that it's $1,000. But I suppose £900 isn't terrible for what you get here. And that in itself is going to be a hot take. So we'll go through quickly these images. You've probably seen everything there is to see on here already. You've probably watched the reviews. I have too. And I must say, I did have the same reaction as everyone seeing the leaked images of this. It was very underwhelming. It was very not what I expected it to be. And I wasn't entirely sure or sold on it. But the dust has now settled. Time has passed, and I've been seeing these images for a couple of weeks now. I do now think this is a great set. This is a common trash talking point. A lot of people like to say how bad it is, and I can understand some of these criticisms. They are very valid criticisms. Not everything here is perfect, but that was almost a certainty going into this. Nothing is ever perfect. No Lego set is ever perfect. But for the new biggest and most expensive set, I do see why a lot of people are very underwhelmed and very not happy with this. Now, the obvious elephant in the room, it's not a sphere. It's not round, it's not like the last two. But that is fine. That is perfectly fine. This is new and different. It's not trying to be those Death Stars. And I've kind of had the effect of how I felt about the UCS Slave 1, the Jango Fett one from this year. I thought the 2015 UCS Slave 1 was perfection. It was chef's kiss, unreal. And ever since this one has released, that old one now looks completely dated. It does not look that good anymore, in my opinion. The new one was so perfectly engineered and so amazingly presented that the old one now does not even hold a candle for me. With that said, I do sort of now think less of those other Death Stars. I think stuff like the prison room looks horrible. It just looks like a room with two walls, two incomplete walls that have this giant ugly black box in, and I think a lot of those rooms don't look amazing. And then you've got the main floor that is the spherical nature means that unless you've got it on like a spinning disc, almost like a record player kind of thing or whatever, when you display it, you're not going to be seeing all those rooms. You're not going to be seeing everything the set has to offer. However, with this, you've got everything. Everything's there. You can see it all. And I will say now I will agree with most people. If we can find 360. I will say now, and I will agree with a lot of people, this looks ugly. This looks ridiculously ugly. If you like look far enough away and squint a bit, it kind of looks like a Terraria level or something like that, you know, when you see like a Minecraft world in 2D and it's just a bunch of colored pixels and stuff. It looks like that. It's not a great look, but it doesn't need to look good. It doesn't need it, there was no reason for them to add the extra pieces and drive the costs up even more just to plate this off in grey. It wouldn't have looked great either way. And do you really want it to be that much more expensive just to cover up something you are never going to see when you're displaying this set? I don't understand why it's such a big talking point with this set that the back is bad. Because, of course, it's bad. Did you really expect it to not be? A lot of people like to talk about this side on profile as well, like not looking great. Again, you're looking at the front here. This side bit, they didn't tile it off and all this to make it look pretty. It's just so that when you look at it from the front, it looks consistent and it looks round. That's the only reason for the design being like this. If you're spending £900 to display that face on, then you have too much money. You're not doing it right. But I honestly do think this is a great set. I really do. And I think before you start jumping the gun and commenting all your things, I just wanted to say I was a massive fan of the diorama sets. I love those things. I think they are all great. I love having scenes. I love being able to put minifigures fighting each other and display stuff like that. I'm really growing out of having lots of vehicles and ships. I love stuff like this. And the Death Star's just a giant diorama with many scenes, many minifigures. I love that aspect, and that's why I like this so much. You may not like it for different reasons. You may prefer the ships, the kind of like the Slave One that came out this year again, just to mention. You may like that kind of thing where it's a big vehicle or a big starship that's highly detailed from all ends. You may love that. I love that too. But I also love this. I love having scenes from my favorite movies on display. I that's my jam. That's how I see it, and that's what I enjoy, and that's fine. If you don't enjoy that, you don't enjoy that. But I do. This is my video. This is my opinions. I just wanted to say. Looking at some of these images, we'll do the basic overview. We've got the Emperor's throne room up here, which looks very much like that diorama that I already have. A lot of people are saying why I have that diorama. I've spent $100 or whatever it is on it, and now they're expecting me to spend $1,000 and basically buy that again with it and all that. It is a bit different, it's not massively different, but then it was such a good design for that throne room. Of course they'd take elements from it for this, I think it looks great. I think the throne room looks amazing, and having the shaft to throw Palpatine down that wasn't included on that diorama, that's great. That's a great thing. Then we've got the elevator, which I'm pretty sure is working. You can move it between the floors. That's really cool. I love playing around with things like that. That's super sick. You've got the Death Star laser with the gunners. Can we zoom into this? No. I think that's very accurate to what we see. You've got the Death Star trooper up there looking through the window. He kind of looks like he showed up to the party and he's looking through the window because no one's let him in. Oh, that's class. It kind of reminds me of the vibes of that stormtrooper from the Praetorian Guard battle pack, who just kind of doesn't really know what's going on. He's at a party but he doesn't know anyone. I love stuff like that. So yeah, we've got a Navy trooper, I believe, or a Navy officer in the elevator there. Then moving over, we've got the famous Luke and Leia swinging across the bridge that's not there, over the abyss kind of thing. That looks really cool. They're both holding onto it. Looks as good as you could want it. Conference room looks amazing. Tarkin even has the taller chair, which is what you see in the film. It would be nice to have more of these named officer characters to fill all the seats, but when you've got this many minifigures in a set, I think they've included just enough to get away with. We've got Darth Vader's meditation chamber, which I don't recall being on the Death Star. Maybe it was. I mean, it's more than possible that he's got multiple. I just thought it was a very strange inclusion for something like this, considering we never see this, and we could have maybe had a different room there. Although I'm not entirely sure what else they'd replace it with. But it's fine. It at the scale it's at, it's fine. Then we've got Obi-Wan, Ben Kenobi, disabling the tractor beam. Looks very nice. You can see him holding on there. Yeah, it looks again basically accurate to the film. You can't. What more do you want? Then we've got this protocol droid going through this little hallway thing, and you can see in the middle there. I really need to zoom into this. How do you zoom in on Lego's websites? You can see it's a recreation in a smaller scale of the core of the Death Star 2 that they blow up in Return of the Jedi. I thought that was a really cool detail. We got the detention room, which looks 1,000 times better than the one from the original Death Star and the 2016 Death Star. You've got the cameras up top and the cell. It looks really nice. You can recreate the very iconic "How are you doing?" kind of line scene. So that's great. Then just below that, we've got Han running from the stormtroopers. After he chased that one trooper. I love that, and the little mouse droid. I've always loved mouse droids. That's really cool. Then we've got the trash compactor under that, which does close, as we saw in the video. Again, very much like the diorama, but it's a bit smaller. And the fact that you can still fit all the minifigs and it still looks great, yeah, that's really cool. No complaints there. Then we got the hangar. Now, this hangar is a big controversial point. Because it houses this Imperial shuttle, which we will see a little bit more on very soon. It also houses something else that we will also get into when time is appropriate. But I think this brick-built black space void background with like a couple of white circular tile pieces, that is great. And I think those smaller ones are white poles in... they're like white poles that are stuck in the stud bit. That's genius. Genius design. It looks great. It looks a lot better than I thought it would if you'd have described it to me. It looks amazing. I love it a lot. But yeah, the hangar's nice and big. You got the whole thing, and you can fit a lot of stormtroopers in here. You can recreate the scene from Return of the Jedi where the Emperor arrives. Just up from there, you've got the room that C-3PO and R2 are in, while the princess being rescued. Yeah, that's pretty much all the rooms. We've got the hot tub room as well, hidden away at the top, and a little gunner area on the top right. They're both very, very cool. On this stand here as well, an inclusion that didn't need to be, but we have it anyway, is some little computer terminal that has the Death Star plans. That it's not even from anything. I'm guessing this is just like the computer Galen would work from or something. But that's really cool to have him and Director Krennic on the stand there. Moving on to more pictures. There's the box. I'm torn on the box. I don't like the side profile that we get because again, it doesn't look great. So I don't know why they'd include that on the box itself. But it is in scale, which I guess is cool. This red mist around it, I don't think looks great. I'm not sure how they would have made this box look good, but that wasn't the answer. It doesn't look amazing. Then there's that side profile again. Yeah, it's not great. But then we got all the minifigs. These minifigs have been criticised. I think having all these is great. So many minifigs in one set is always a positive. Some exclusive characters that we've never had. Stuff like Yularen, which was, I'm pretty sure, in a polybag a while ago. Now he's updated and here. They're all fantastic. Obviously, C3PO should have the dual molded leg. I agree with that very much. This is a £900 set. Why he doesn't have that, I don't know. And yeah, these officers could have done with dual molded legs for their boots, absolutely. But for me, it's not a massive deal breaker. Like, I would very much appreciate if they were there. It would be very nice to have. But it is by no means a deal breaker. I can live without that. For these essentially glup shitos, I don't think you need them. The beach trooper, the hot tub stormtrooper, amazing. The fact that this was included is mind blowing. This is one of my favorite things about the whole set. The references to the video games. I love that they managed to work this sort of stuff into the design and into the set. We've never really had many references to those games. I think the last year's advent calendar had a mini kit in it, which was like the first time we've had an official mini kit, which was absolutely insane. But yeah, that's a fantastic inclusion. Something they didn't need to do, but they did anyway. So here's the shuttle. I think it's not too bad. Obviously, it's downscaled. But yeah, maybe the fin could have been like 2 bricks taller. It does look a little bit short, but I think it's for the scale, it looks absolutely fine. It looks absolutely passable. And if you have the hanger set up without any minifigs, but this set in there, I think yeah, it looks really good in there. With this scene here, you've got the minifigs in. It kind of, yeah, you do see the scale of like the hangar area and the shuttle are quite nice together, but then when you've got the minifigs in, it makes the room look like it's shrunk, if that makes sense. So I would personally not display any of these figs in there. Then yeah, you've got the Obi-Wan Darth Vader fight with Luke looking in from the hangar. That's really cool. Just some just sort of close-up shots of all the different rooms. There's a lifestyle shot there. It's massive. I think when people go to Lego stores and see this set up on the display, I think everyone that sees it in person for the first time is going to think, damn, that's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It's going to be huge. I don't think the pictures really do it justice for how big it's going to be. Then we've got another lifestyle shot of all the minifigs. No hot tub stormtrooper in this one for some reason. Not entirely sure what the logic behind that was. Then yeah, just more of the scenes with all the minifigs in. Something like this is a really good display solution. Just having it on its own on top of a piece of furniture, just grabbing the attention of anyone that sees it. I think that's great. Again, the box, I think they've missed it with the box. This side bit here, the actual Death Star, that looks so cool. That one panel, that looks amazing. But yeah, the back here, it looks a little bit tacky. But yeah, that's those pictures that you've probably seen 1,000 times already. 38 minifigs, that's a great number of minifigs, most in any Star Wars set ever. 9,023 pieces is insane. That's crazy. This is the other thing I wanted to look at here. This here is the gift with purchase for this set. Essentially, it adds a TIE fighter into the hangar on a rack, a little maintenance cart for your hangar, 2 more stormtroopers, and a TIE fighter pilot. I can see where they were going with this and the sort of angle they were taking, but I think this is kind of a bad promo. I think this should have been included with the set. I really do. We should have had like a Darth Vader's lightsaber kind of thing as the promo for this. This should have been in the set. I don't think the TIE fighter looks bad. Of course it does. It's in a tiny scale. But I think the more I look at it, the worse it's getting. It's not a good look. The cockpit is way too big for the size of the wings. The colours are kind of looking a bit off. I don't know. Maybe it's just the image. I don't think this is great. To be honest with you, just include the maintenance cart and the two stormtroopers in the set. Two more stormtroopers. We don't need a TIE fighter in the hangar. I get that they wanted to be cute and make it work, but there must have been a lot of yes men on this project. But yeah, that's practically it. That's the Death Star. I really do want this set. It's a very demanding price tag. £900 is not anything to joke about. That's a serious amount of money. This is something I would like, and I would like to get the gift with purchase with it. As much as I don't like the gift with purchase, I wouldn't want to buy this later at full price and then be receiving less, because at the very least having those two extra stormtroopers can elevate this set quite a bit. But will I get this set? Who knows? We'll find out in the coming weeks. At the time of recording this, we have about just over a week until this releases. I'm pretty sure it releases on the 1st for VIP. Yeah, early access, the 1st of the 10th. So we got just over a week until this one releases. And I may buy it, I may not. If I do, I'll be making some video content on it, of course. But yeah, those are just my thoughts about the new Death Star. If you want to argue some of my points, give your own opinions, point out good or bad things that I didn't mention, go and drop a comment now. And that's me signing out. Thanks for watching. Peace.